Hello YouTube, this is Sam from Tyke Schooling. In this session of the video, we're actually going to talk about the calcium. So in this lecture, we'll be only talking about the calcium. In the next lecture, we'll be talking about the regulation of the calcium ion. So remember, we know that calcium is more important in strengthening our bones. So starting the lecture, we have to remember that the total body calcium in a young adult human is actually 1,000 gram. It's the normal value, and about 99% of this calcium is present in your bones. So somebody's asking you, 99% of your calcium is present in your bones. All right, so this is the level of the calcium that is present in the normal calcium level. And remember, the plasma calcium level in your body, in your blood, the plasma calcium level, if somebody's asking about the plasma calcium level, you must remember it's around 10 milligram per deciliter. This is the plasma calcium level, and in the plasma this calcium is present in three forms. The calcium in the plasma is present in the three forms. And how would we say in which forms they are? Number one form, that would be, it is the ionized diffusible form. Like, it's ionized and it's also diffusible through the membrane. So it's ionized diffusible form. And the second one is it's bound to your plasma protein. It's bound to your plasma proteins, and if they're bound to plasma protein, probably they are not going to diffuse, so we would say non-diffusible. And the third type, or you can say in the third type, it would be non-ionized. It would be not ionized, but it would be diffusible. All right, it would be diffusible. So in your plasma, the calcium is present in these three forms, and you have to remember only the free ionized calcium in the body fluids actually act, this ionized diffusible, which is also diffusible, only that thing act as, like, if it's free from any plasma protein, any particle that it's free calcium, or you can say ionized calcium, can act as your second messenger, which help in the carrying the information, and help in factors, which is blood clotting factors, and also help in muscle contraction if you've gone through the basic muscle contraction theories, and also help in your nerve function, the carrying out information, right? And only the ionized calcium can do that. So if we further go on and talk about the calcium, we must know that if the normal calcium level is 1,000 grams, which is present in the adult human, and the daily intake of this calcium should be 1,000 milligram every day. So if somebody is asking you what should be your daily intake should be 1,000 milligram. All right, so what you have to remember, from this 1,000 milligram, you are taking in only 350 is going to be reabsorbed through your intestine. Only 350 milligram is going to be absorbed from your intestine, and from that 350, 250 you got to minus. It's because those 350 are absorbed from the intestine, go through the mucosal layer, go to the stomach, and again drain into the intestine and go and excrete out through the feces. So if we like 350 is reabsorbed, and again 250 is also excreted again, so we only the real value of calcium that is actually absorbed would be 100 milligram. So the real value would be 100 milligram, and 90%, which is 900 milligram, is lost. So 900 milligram is lost through your feces. Only 100 milligram is reabsorbed. And now if we talk further about, and remember one thing more, that this calcium that is absorbed in the small intestine, actually with the help of the a hormone, which is the vitamin D hormone. and which is in the active form, and the vitamin D must act in the 120. We'll be talking about that in the calcium regulation, that hormone must act as in the form of 125 dihydroxy in this form, like vitamin D3, right, in this 1.125. We'll be talking about that in the calcium regulation. Now, further moving on, we must remember that we talked about the 99%. We talked about this one. And one thing you have to remember, that 99% of your calcium which go through the kidney actually is reabsorbed, and only 100 milligram is actually lost in your urine every day. Right? So which we say that 99% is lost, and only 1%, 99% is reabsorbed to the kidney, only 1% is lost, only 1% is lost. And this absorption which is happening in the kidney only occurs from your, remember this, from your proximal tubules, loop of Henle, and distal tubules. The absorption occurs from the proximal tubules, loop of Henle, and distal tubules. Only 99% is reabsorbed. And one thing you have to remember, that the distal tubular reabsorption is under the control of parathyroid hormone. This parathyroid hormone actually controls this boy called actually act on this place, which is the distal tubule of the nephron. I haven't made the nephron out here, right? But you have to remember, we'll be talking about that in the calcium regulation again. So this is how the calcium is actually balanced. We'll be talking about how the calcium is actually balanced. And now further talk about the calcium which is present in the bone, which is 99% which is present in the bone. So the calcium which is present 99% in the bone is actually in the hydroxyapatite crystals. So it's actually present in the calcium which is present in the bone is actually of two types. The calcium which is present in bones is actually of two types. The first type you would be the readily exchangeable, like you would say, the first type would be exchangeable reservoirs. Like there are small reservoirs which are exchangeable, continuously present. Like immediately if you need immediately if the parathyroid hormone is released and you need calcium, this guy is going to release, like these reservoirs are going to be empty fast enough. So they are exchangeable, like fast, small, and quick responsible. And the other exchangeable reservoirs are actually, you can say, large pool of slowly exchangeable. These are readily, these are fast, these are slowly. The second type is slowly exchangeable reservoirs, or you can say large pools of the calcium which is present in this point. And further, if you talk about the calcium which is present in the bones, we must say bones which we know that the bones actually undergo remodeling continuously. What I mean by that, the old bones are actually lost and new bone are formed, which means new cells are formed, old cells are lost. And this remodeling of bone is actually regulated by a hormone in circulations and growth factors, and we know that, and various cytokines. We will talking about that one in just a bit. Alright, so this is all about the introduction regarding the calcium and the basic idea what is calcium all about. And in the next part we'll be talking about the hormone regulations. We'll probably talking about the calcium and maybe a little bit about the phosphate homeostasis. That's it. Keep visiting Thai Schooling.